Vi fik muligheden for at se nærmere på Rainbow Six Siege. Her fik vi blandt andet muligheden for at prøve noget af udstyret, og vi fik også muligheden for at interviewe Angela Bassett. Så med her.
As of this moment, my program is reactivated, and I am handing over command of all global field operations to you.
What intrigued you to say yes to playing Agent 6 in Rainbow Six Siege?
Well, never having been asked to play in a video game before, it being a, very exciting and big industry, and it being something very different for me as an actor, but yet a character that I find familiar and intriguing, a very strong, kick-butt female, in a industry where usually it's a male. Very few in the Rainbow Six, series, books or videos. Yeah, the very first. So that was very intriguing.
How was it different for you to playing a digital character in a video game compared to what you do on screen normally?
Well, they in that world they make everything. They make everything. The sets, they look, incredibly real. One that I'm playing in right now, they actually built a hotel with a working elevator. They do all that for you. It helps, with the flooring and the walls and the ceiling and the lights, and they work, and so a lot of craftsmen come on, and the costumes, and in this you have none of that. No. So it really is make believe. I mean, there's a lot of detail in it, but it comes later. It comes later without you, without your involvement, and then they come back, and then you add your layer to it, and then they go away and they do more and come back. So. The timing, the time investment is different. It's much less,
Yeah.
But the end product is just as rich and fulfilling.
How was your expected result from the motion capture? Was it as you expected when you saw the cinematic trailer?
Yes, yeah. I remember that because they pull it apart. Maybe you're saying your dialogue one day, and then you show up another day, maybe weeks later, and you have now you're tied into that. Tied into the way you delivered that. So now you have to add a physicality to that dialogue. So as opposed, it's like. If you're doing a film or television or stage, physicality in your voice, it all goes together in that moment. Yeah. But to pull them apart, and so I guess it's more like doing ADR. Like if the dialogue isn't correct, you have to come back and you have to put the dialogue where your lips are moving, and it has to sync up. So you're syncing, what you've said weeks earlier to a movement. And yet you have to be in the same emotional space also.
Is it something you would like to do again if you just given the opportunity?
Yeah, I found it a challenge. It's a technical challenge, a technical aspect to it that I enjoy.
Are you into video games yourself?
I hear that they make you smarter, so I think I'm going to... I'm going to be more into video games, starting with my own right now.
Yeah.
Starting with one that I'm in.
If you had the opportunity to work with any Danish actor or actress, is there anyone in particular you would like to work with?
Give me some names.
Like Mads Mikkelsen or Nikolaj Coster-Waldau from Game of Thrones, or
yeah, that Game of Thrones is.
Yeah, Mads Mikkelsen is like the villain in James Bond, and.
I'm not really a big James Bond. I'm sure I've seen him though.
Yeah.
You can not have seen a James Bond movie, but you could have seen bits of it that you're familiar with it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, sure.
The Game of Thrones sounds interesting.